Infinite blessings and love. Namaste, namaskaram. This is Om Oracle Tarot, and this is Cancer's Spiritual Path reading for December 2022. Now, I have to say that these are general readings and may not resonate with everyone. If they don't, that's all right. There's plenty of other great YouTube tarot readers that you can check out. If you would like to get in contact with me, you can do so in the comments below the video. You can also get in contact with me at the Om Oracle Tarot Instagram page, of which there's only one, and the link for that is below in the description of this video. And if any of this reading resonates with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as it is really most appreciated, and I appreciate all of you. I also want to send a big heartfelt sense of gratitude and thank you out to all those who have liked, shared, subscribed, and donated. It really does mean so much, and again, thank you so much. I'd also like to remind everybody to check your other placements, your sun, moon, and rising signs, for a broader picture of what may be going on. You can also check out the mid-month readings that I offer here. You can also check out the full moon and the new moon readings that I also offer here at Om Oracle Tarot. All right. Without any further ado, please give us a message for what is on Cancer's spiritual path for December 2022. 3 cards, please. I only take uprights, and I only take jumpers from the deck. And while there may be moments of silence while I'm shuffling the cards, as we are not together in the physical, I am connecting to your energy, so your energy is a part of this reading. So do pay attention to anything you see within your mind's eye. You might hear a word or some song lyrics. You may smell something that reminds you of something. As this is all your intuition playing a role in this reading. And in a lot of ways, it's in these moments of silence that the deeper aspect of the reading takes place within yourself. So do pay attention to that. All right, thank you. All right. So we have the Knight of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Tower, and at the bottom we have the Hangman. So in December, starting out with the Knight of Wands here, it does appear that whatever your endeavor is, and I feel like we'll find a little bit more about that as we go, but you are embarking on an adventure. You're headed forward with this sense of adventure. And you've been inspired to do so here. And you're moving on at a pretty good speed, too, as you move forward. And we have the Three of Pentacles here. So it does appear that there is some sort of team effort taking place. So whatever your ambition is moving forward, it does involve a team dynamic to one extent or another. And this is really going to allow your specific skill set to shine in this team dynamic. There's going to be a lot of learning taking place, as it's like you're all kind of experts in your specific field or lane, if you will. And so they're going to be learning from you, but you're also going to be learning quite a bit from them. And whatever you're working on has spiritual sustenance to it, because there are 2 Eucharists on this cathedral art here. So there is a divine plan at play here. But this is really going to allow you to implement your skills in the right way here. And then we have the Tower. So this team dynamic may come like a sudden change in your life. You may not be used to dealing with a group or a team. I am a Cancer sun, so I'm definitely kind of a lone wolf in a lot of areas of my life here. So I definitely can understand how all of a sudden working in a team could be a sudden change and might create this sense of chaos in your workings, in the way that you kind of function on a day-to-day life. But there is an awakening taking place here. So, and I feel like the awakening that you're coming to is that you actually work well in a team, and that this is all happening at the right time, because this is an unexpected team, if you will. Like, this is not something you had envisioned for yourself, but as you start charging forward, it's like this team just presents itself, and it's like something you can't turn down. I mean, you could turn it down, but I don't feel like it seems like the situation's too sweet, and you couldn't turn that down. And at the bottom here, we have the Hangman. So I do see you surrendering, letting go, kind of going with the flow. You're definitely getting this new perspective here with the Tower. And really, this Tower and getting in this team is going to help you break some old patterns of the way that you work, the way that you function, and also the way that you think about yourself. Because in this team, and I feel like everybody in the team is highly prized, but this is a unique situation for you, as in the past you may not have felt appreciated or highly prized here. And in this team, you definitely will. And a lot of people have gotten this. I think almost every sign has gotten this, where there's this theme of change here, because you're definitely in this metamorphosis, going from this lone wolf to this team player here. And this may cause you to kind of like pause for a moment. It's almost like you pause for a moment, you let this tower of these old concepts and ideas of yourself kind of fall, and then you really get in this team in a big way here. So we'll get a little bit more as we go forward. But yeah, for a lot of the signs, the main theme is change across the board. All right, this is the Yogic Path deck. Please give us 3 cards for what is on Cancer's spiritual path for December 2022. Thank you. That's interesting. We have Shiva and Kali. And the Tower. So all right. One more, please. One more. Pretty please. One more, please. Thank you. And Buddha. All right. So we have Shiva. And the card says Shiva, but this is technically Nataraja, and this is Shiva's dance of reality, essentially. But Shiva is definitely the god of destruction, but also of creation, as this dance is creating our reality. So there is this theme again of destruction and creation. You're able to step into this new once this structure that you have kind of built up around yourself. These are like protective walls that have actually kept you from living the life that you want and now that is coming to its destruction here. And in the background, we do have a moon here, so do pay attention to the planets, the transits, the moon cycles, as this can help give you a good idea on the timing of things. And you can also utilize these moon phases and the planetary energies to your benefit. And then we have Kali here. So Kali is the goddess of time, but also change. Again, she's also the goddess of power. But like Shiva, she is the goddess of destruction, but also creation. So there's definitely that going on here, where we have this destruction of what is really not only is it not serving you, but it's hindering your progress here. This tower. It's like this tower was built to protect this old version of you. And now that you're stepping into this new, getting this new perspective, this tower has to come down. It can't stay. And just with the fact that we have Shiva, Kali, and the tower, it leads me to believe that this tower is going to come in play as we go a little bit further on a different topic. And then we have Buddha. So Buddha is an awakened one, realized being, but also this, like they say, the compassion of the Buddha. So there is an awakening taking place, and you're kind of awakening to what you actually bring to the table in this team dynamic, and this actually causes you to have a lot of compassion for yourself in a way to where you start really nurturing these skills, where you may have set these somewhat on the back burner, or you may not be presenting them to everyone. So there's definitely that. But whatever this tower is, and it does appear to be internal, you're kind of weathering this like you would see a Buddha statue weather a storm. This tower isn't going to have like this great impact on you like a lot of towers would, because you're able to kind of sit back and say, yeah, I see that structure is no longer serving me, and I have to let it go. All right. This is the Wisdom of the Buddha deck, as I call it. Please give us 3 cards, 3 messages for what is on Cancer's spiritual path in December 2022. 3 cards, please. Thank you. All right, one more, please. All right. Thank you. So we have Buddha Dakini, Karma Dakini, and Vajravari's Creation Fusion Mandala. We'll start here. Buddha Dakini, the Buddha family of the center. And the message here is, replace ignorance by studying spiritual teachings. So I feel like to get to this point, you kind of have been doing that. But in this team dynamic, and this is speaking to this learning that I spoke of earlier, that each person in the team, this doesn't have to be a team of 3, but each person in the team brings their own skill set, their own knowledge to the table. And so this is definitely kind of a place where you can share knowledge, and knowledge will be shared with you in the form of words, books, I mean, even memes, or, depending on how you communicate with this team. Um, in this team, there may be areas where you feel like, oh, I don't know anything about this ignorance of whatever topic that is. And this is saying you can replace that by studying the spiritual teachings that these other people are presenting to you. Karma Dakini, the Buddha family of the North. And the message here is replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. So, and this is kind of dovetailing this message. In this team dynamic, there may be moments where you feel somewhat envious of the knowledge that these other people have, or the level of skill that they have in whatever they have mastered. But again, the message, replace this envy by focusing on your accomplishment. So focusing on what you bring to the table, focusing on your skills, focusing on why you're important to this team, because they're going to let you know that they appreciate what you bring to the table. So when they do tell you this, do take it to heart, because they're not just trying to get you on the team for no reason. And then Vajravari's Creation Fusion Mandala, Bliss Swirls of Delight. And the message here is focus on beauty, manifest harmony. So if we're focused on how ignorant we feel, or if we're focused on being envious of others, we're not really noticing the beauty of the other person in the right light. And in turn, we're not noticing our own beauty, what you bring to the table, and how it is actually beautiful, and how it enhances the team. And by focusing on this beauty and the fact that you get to do this at all, this manifests this harmony, this compassionate heart here. So do focus on the brighter side of things, the higher vibrational thoughts about doing this team. Because this tower of those old types of thoughts is being torn down, but there's going to be this linger, because these are patterns that have been set in place in our mind, and it does take a little while to retrain the brain. And that's kind of what the Spirit is asking you to do, is retrain your brain out of this structure. Because even when the structure's gone, these wheels still may be in motion a little bit. All right. This is the Gita deck. Now, I have to say that these are not general, or these are not religious specific readings. These are talking about energies, unless, of course, you're engaged in one or more of these traditions and practices, in which case the reading can take on an extra layer for you. So please give us 3 cards. Let me rephrase, please. Please give us 2 or 3 cards for what is on Cancer's spiritual path in December 2022. We'll take them, because it's because I'm not entirely sure why, but getting the nudge to take them all. All right, so we have Pretenders. No, somebody else just got Pretenders. This card doesn't always come out. This card next to it, the Source of All, I'm not sure it's ever come out, and that's in part why I took the stack. So in the past, and this is kind of why you keep to yourself, is because you have dealt with these pretenders here. And on the card, this is Saraswati, and Saraswati is a wonderful goddess but this appears to be someone pretending to be Saraswati, pretending to be a master at this instrument, or pretending to know all there is to know, this posturing. And you realize they were pretenders, and so you have kind of kept to yourself, or you keep what you have kind of to yourself, because you found yourself kind of surrounded by some pretenders. And I'll just read the back of this because it'll speak to some of you. Those who restrain the working senses but continue to dwell on sense objects delude themselves and are called pretenders. So, but you have been in the past. I don't feel like this is immediate, but in the past you have dealt with this energy. It says, the source of all, and this is Lakshmi in front of Vishnu. And the message here is, I am the source of all spiritual and material universes, for everything emanates from me. Knowing this, the wise engage in my devotion, in my devotional service and worship. Let me read that sentence over. Knowing this, the wise engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. I'm sorry, that's so clunky. This is, there's an element in the type of information that's going to be shared back and forth in this team. A lot of it has to do with the nature of the divine, the nature of our reality, and the nature of yourself at the deepest aspect of yourself, and kind of coming to this awakening or realization. And this realization is what creates a Buddha, is the realization, the one, that you and the divine are one. And so this would be the Buddha saying, or Vishnu, a saint, I am the source of all spiritual and material universes. Everything is emanating out of the divine. And it says, knowing this, the wise engage in my devotional service. So this is really asking you to, whatever you're doing in this team, to really offer all your efforts and whatever outcome or crop that is yielded from this team, offer it all up to the divine. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing this. You don't have to actually physically give anything to anyone else. Just within yourself, within your heart, you're constantly giving it back to the divine, because everything here in the physical reality is bubbling up from that divine source, the source energy, whatever you call it, whatever your path is. And then we have a sacrifice. And on here is Ganesha. Now, Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. Ganesha is also the son of Shiva. And we have sacrifice. So there's, with this tower, there's definitely this old aspect of yourself and how you were identifying yourself, that you are sacrificing. You're sacrificing this old structure to be able to step into this new here. And the message here is, any action that is not performed as a sacrifice to God is a source of bondage to this material world. So like what I just said, offering this all up to the divine. Everything you do can be seen as a sacrifice to the divine, or a prayer to the divine. Therefore, carry out your prescribed duties as a sacrifice, remaining unattached to the results. So this is really going to increase your output, because you're not attached on the results of the output. You're just in constant communion with the divine in this activity. And that's really going to make this pop here in a good way. And then we have pearls on a thread. So this message is about to dovetail these also. It says, know for certain that whatever is found in this creation arises out of a combination of my material and spiritual energies. I am the origin and the dissolution of all. There is nothing beyond me. Everything rests upon me as pearls strung on a thread. And this is the divine speaking. And here we have Krishna here with his flute, his deer, and his cow, and his peacock. So, excuse me. So this is saying again what these two cards says. Everything is emanating out of the divine. Everything is a combination of the divine's material and spiritual energies. And like this last line says, everything rests upon me, the divine, as pearls strung on a thread. All right. This is the Gods and Goddesses deck. Please give us 2 or 3 cards for what type of divine energies are surrounding Cancers on their spiritual path in December 2022. 2 or 3, please. All right. Thank you. We have Lord Kapila. So this, again, this card is going to speak about these 3 cards right here. This, Lord Kapila is the knower of matter and spirit. And his blessings are scientific knowledge. So this is this can be any science. This could be the science of astrology or astronomy, or I mean, the list can go on and on with this. But scientific knowledge is definitely coming your way. Power of discrimination. Now, in Eastern philosophy, discrimination is not, the word isn't used how it is in the West, where in the West we speak of discrimination. We're speaking about an oppressive discrimination. In the East, they're speaking about the discrimination more like the word discernment, if you're familiar with that. And this is the power of discerning the mind or the brain from this eternal soul that's one with God, that everything is emerging out of. And you're getting this power of this discernment. Divine understanding and liberation. So this knowledge that I just spoke of, this discernment, definitely brings liberation. To really be steeped in that is what creates a Buddha. But you're not only getting the liberation, but this understanding. And the last blessing here is knowledge and mastery of material elements. So in this work that you're doing, this team, you are gaining the knowledge and the mastery of material elements. So to me, that kind of speaks of magic to a certain extent. And this also goes along with this scientific knowledge. Yoga is a scientific knowledge. The occult is scientific knowledge. Now, these may not be widely accepted, but do know that this is scientific knowledge, or at least it is considered that. Then we have Sri Ram, the king of Dharma. So when your karmic path turns into your spiritual path, this is what Dharma is this spiritual path. And Rama's blessings are fidelity in marriage. This could also speak of fidelity in a partnership, in a team. So this is a committed team. Now, for some of you, this may be speaking about relationships. There's really nothing else on here about that as of yet, but that may speak to some of you. Obedience as virtue. So this obedience to this higher source that you are actually one with, and you're realizing you're one with this this source energy, and so it's a surrender that is not surrender, because you realize, how can you surrender to yourself? And then security, name, and status. So this team is definitely bringing in security. I feel like you're getting a new perspective on your own name. But it does appear that your name is going to be known and talked about because we have status. So this is bringing a certain level of status with it. And the last blessing here is adherence to truth, keeping one's word. So this is a strength of yours to keep your word and adhering to this truth of yourself. And in part, this is why this tower is kind of coming down, because you realize that it is not, there's truthiness to this, but that doesn't make it true. And you're really wanting to move forward with truth. Because like I said, you are a type of person that definitely keeps your word when you make a commitment or you make a claim. And we have Sri Krishna again, the Lord of Love. And his blessings are a sense of humor. So it's almost like how the Buddha has this little half smile on his face. This is kind of your reaction to this tower falling. There is this sense of humor about the flimsiness of what you once thought was protecting you, or the flimsiness of what you thought you were protecting. Universal love and charity. So this is kind of what this team is really going to brim with, is this universal love and charity. Success in loving relationships. So there's two there for you. So there may be loving relationships kind of in here that may be part of this team, and a carefree attitude towards life. So again, with this Buddha smirk, you have this carefree attitude. You're not letting things ruffle your feathers here, because you have this new perspective on yourself and those around you. All right. Please give us 3 cards for what is on Cancer's spiritual path in December 2022. The Valley, Eternal Bliss. Excuse me. All right. All right, thank you. Gotta check to make sure I press record. Oh, man. Woo! All right. So we have the Valley here. And the valley is generally where all the topsoil, when it rains, man, when all the topsoil, when it rains off of these peaks or buttes around this valley, it all washes into the valley. And this makes the valley have the most fertile soil here. And in part, this is what this tower does. It's like this tower is crumbling down into this valley and is really creating this environment for this new growth here. And then we have eternal bliss, and this symbol says Om, or it stands for Om. So again, this is kind of where you're coming to with this Buddha smirk and this compassion of the Buddha, but also realizing that your relation to the divine, and then in extension, your relation to reality. And this really does bring this eternal bliss here. And you could almost place this symbol here right on top of Shiva, or right behind Nataraja here. This eternal bliss here. This constant dance. This dance is always singing the song Om. Technically, it's singing the song Aum, A-U-M. And it says, always remember this. Always remember this eternal bliss. Always remember that you're one with the divine, and that everything in your reality is bubbling up from what you are. This eternal bliss is what's looking through your eyes at this very moment. But these structures that we have of ourself in our brain cloud our vision to this eternal bliss. So always remember this eternal bliss, because this is what's true. This is, you could say, this is the ultimate truth. All right. Please, this is the top deck. Please give us 3 cards for what are the hindrances on Cancer's spiritual path in December 2022. 3 cards, please. Two more. Jeepers. Jinkies. All right. 2 more cards, please. All right, thank you. So we have the 9 of Wands. So this is this wounded warrior type of energy is generally what this card means. So in the past, you definitely have been that wounded warrior. You felt that sense of victimhood that comes with that. And you have persevered through that. But there is this sense that when this tower comes down, that some of these feelings are going to bubble up again. And the Spirit is saying, don't give this wounded warrior aspect any of your attention, because if you do, that could be a hindrance and actually draw you back into that type of identification, and then that begins to draw those types of situations to you, which is not what you want. And then we have the Chariot. So this is definitely asking you to watch your ego here, because then we have the Power card. So this team is really going to empower you, and this is what it's been brought to you for. But the funny thing about the ego, it can easily get away from us, and it starts to make moves of its own almost. But it's that ego-driven willpower that is going to be a hindrance for you. So do keep an eye on that. And like I said, power, and this is the four of discs, and in this deck they call it power, or so we don't want this power to go to our head. There's also a sense of wanting to be in control, because this isn't, there's no leader in this team. And so there's a sense of potentially wanting to be in control, that type of saying, well, if it's going to get done right, then I'm going to have to do it. That type of thinking is not going to help you in this. So, and again, this stems from the ego, that type of thinking. So the Spirit is really asking you to set that aside so that you can really shine in this team, because these things are what is going to potentially hinder your progress if you give them any space to play. All right. Please give us 2 cards for what is on Cancer's spiritual path for December 2022. All right. Balance. One more, please. That's too many. One more, please. All right. All right, thank you. I have to add, we have, as far as elephants here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 elephants on the table right now. It doesn't always happen. So maintaining balance, and this is speaking about balancing and integrating this light aspect of yourself and the dark aspect of yourself, because both possess power, but it's important to balance these things so that you can utilize both of them as you move forward. It's also speaking about balancing the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. Now, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have feminine and masculine aspects to ourselves. So finding this balance in all areas of life is really going to help you out moving forward. And then we have the spring here. So I kind of feel like in this, the way this is kind of coming up and bursting out like a geyser, the shape of this is kind of speaking to this spring. And like with the tower, a spring is usually a body of water, or like I said, a geyser that kind of just comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really seem to have a source on the surface because it is coming from another place. And like with a geyser, those can all of a sudden present themselves very quickly. And I feel like this is what this team is going to do. This is going to be like the spring waters, these nourishing spring waters just bursting out while you're charging forward in the desert. So this is going to be very nourishing for you. Even life-giving here. And then we have the elephant. So like Ganesha, elephant is the remover of obstacles. And it's kind of like if there's a jungle trail and there's animals and snakes on the trail, they might be taking a nap on the trail. When a herd of elephants comes through that trail, everything scatters. Any obstacle that an elephant may have just gets out of the way because they don't they don't want to get trampled by an elephant. And this is kind of what's working for you here. And it really hasn't said what any obstacles outside of this internal obstacle might be. But any obstacles that may come your way in December are being removed for you. And in a lot of ways, they are just getting out of the way. There's a saying that the world will get out of the way for someone who knows where they're going. And it does appear that you know where you're going. So the world will make space for you to do that. All right. This is the Oracle of Rama deck. First, we'll pick a Divine Guide card, or it will pick us. And then we will get some messages from the Greater of Oracle, from the Greater Oracle of Rama deck. Excuse me. So, and we have Rama, the hero. And in the story of the Ramayana, Ram, or Rama, is the incarnation of the divine. And here we have Rama over here. And like I said, Rama is the hero of the story, or at least one of the heroes. And so in this way, you are kind of becoming the hero of your story within yourself. And here we have the number 4. So the number 4 is speaking of stability here, right by this balance card. So, and in this team, it's like a stool or a table needs at least 3 legs to stand, to be stable. If it doesn't have all the legs necessary to support the weight or the responsibilities, then the table can't stand on its own. And this is why you're so important to this team. It's like you're this missing leg of the team that is needed to make this team actually function. So again, this team, you're going to be highly valued. All right, this is the Greater Oracle of Rama deck. Please give us 2 or 3 cards for what is on Cancer's spiritual path in December 2022. Come on now. Two or 3 cards, please. How many is here? All right, there's 4, but there's 5. We'll go ahead and take them. Why not? Oh, geez. All right, here we go. All right. We have staying the course. What was it, number 4? And the message here is an obstruction is being eliminated. Travel on. So again, with this removal of obstacles or obstructions in your path, the obstruction is not just being removed, but eliminated. And continue traveling on. Stay the course. Wherever you're headed, keep going there. Limitations of destiny. Short-term tragedy is necessary for long-term good. So this tower, like I said, this may have more than just this internal structure that is going on. So this is saying short-term tragedy. So this isn't like a major blowout or anything, but this is definitely short-term heavy vibes are necessary for the long-term good. So it's like you have to get rid of this old idea of yourself in order to step forward anew. here, because this old idea of yourself is not serving you. And then we have removing obstacles. An unexpected obstacle appears. So when you see the falsity of this, this is very unexpected. But again, your obstacles are being eliminated. Astrological influences. Solar eclipse brings a decline of good leadership. So, in this past eclipse cycle, some things were most likely brought to the light. This pretender, someone who basically had appointed themselves a leadership role in your life. And so this past eclipse cycle has brought these things to light for you. The summit of happiness. Good news arrives from a foreign land. So this kind of speaks to the scope of this team. And this may be something you're presenting online, and so it can be viewed all over the world. But whatever you're doing in this team has an impact on not only your local community, but the world community in whatever area that this happens to be in. So this is far-reaching work here. All right. Which one? All right. We'll take the tiny deck, and we will split it 3 ways and get the tops of the splits here. Orange. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Orange, yellow, yellow. Be supportive. So like what I was saying, this missing leg of the table here. And just by being yourself, coming with your skill set, your knowledge, you become very supportive in this team, because it actually needs you to balance the weight, to keep the structure functional. It's a belief. So this old belief about yourself, you are coming to the realization that like this is only a belief, and that this actually in a lot of ways only exists in your mind. This is whatever this is not how other people view you, but you believe that this is how other people view you, and so this is how you move through the world. But you are coming to the realization that this is only a belief and actually only exists in your own head. Include. So you're going to definitely feel included in this team. This is also asking you to include all of your skills. Don't really hold anything back from the team. Let them know everything you have to offer, and then they can kind of be like, oh, I like that. Let's use that. We're going to do that. And this, again, will help you feel even more included. And again, being included like this and appreciated like this is going to feel a little different for you. But definitely ride the ride. Stay the course. All right. Please give us 3 cards for a final message. What would you like to leave Cancers with for what is on their spiritual path in December 2022? 3 cards, please, for a final parting message for our Cancers. All right. One more. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Star card, the Empress, and at the bottom we have the King of Cups. So I feel like once you do get into this team, it's like initially you're riding pretty fast, and when you get into this team, it's like the speed picks up quite a bit. And you become quite ambitious in the ideas and things you want to implement in this team here. But things do pick up once you get into this team. Then we have the Star card. So again, pay close attention to the planets, the transits, the moon cycles, as this can help give you a good idea on the timing of things, and you can utilize these planetary energies to your benefit. You are going to be receiving spiritual messages, intuitive messages here. But getting in this team is really renewing you on so many levels. In a way, this is kind of this team is kind of quickening your spirituality, really giving you a purpose, whereas in the past you may have felt a little here and there with your purpose here, but it is definitely renewing your faith in the divine, the faith in yourself. It's so crucial. And renewing your hope for the future. This is very hopeful. And so this is how you're moving forward here. And this team comes with a lot of opportunities for you. So Spirit is saying, do be ready for that. And then we have the Empress. So again, a lot of new opportunities coming from this. Heavy growth. Once you get into this team, it's just like grow, grow, grow. It's like... I know Miracle Grow is not like the best for your plants and things like this, but it's like you're pouring some really great organic fertilizer on certain aspects of yourself, and it just is like growing pretty quickly here as you are moving forward pretty quickly. You're really, like it said, you're focusing on the beauty of things, finding more stability, bringing stability, and really nurturing this, whatever this team is working on. And at the bottom, we have the King of Cups. So after this tower, and I even feel like during the tower, you like with this Buddha smirk, you're feeling emotionally balanced. You're definitely feeling emotionally balanced once you get into this team. And again, with this compassionate energy of the Buddha and this compassionate heart, having compassion for yourself. And with anyone from the past, you're being very diplomatic about it. You're not striking out at them. And with this tower, you're also being diplomatic in the sense of it's very cut and dry. You realize these things have to go. This structure is not serving you, and it's time to start anew, build anew. And we have the Ace of Cups. So, And the dove is descending with the Eucharist in its mouth, and is causing this cup to overflow. And this cup is full of love and compassion. And whatever you're working on in this team, it's like with the Eucharist is here, it's like this is what you are trying to create more of in the world, is this love and compassion here. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, and I feel like in a lot of this, you're being very practical about these changes, this movement forward. This is a practical move for you, to really set these old things down. That this is practically, the practicality of setting these things down is beneficial for you. You see that, and getting into this team is doing a similar thing, and I see you in this team really holding what you have at hand. You're not reaching for this manuscript that the other person has. You're kind of holding what you have and holding that to be true. Now, that's not to say you're not going to learn from these people, but you're kind of in your lane and you know how to do what you do. And this definitely brings you a place of prominence here. And it's like you move forward feeling very confident and successful about yourself. Even if this team has not actually produced anything yet, you still feel successful, and that is really half the game right there. And I always see this as this wreath here as a tiny world card. So there has been this successful completion of this old cycle here. You've fulfilled whatever debt was necessary to be paid by in this tower mode, or whatever this structure is. And again, the community is kind of rallying around you. But like on this card, not everybody in the crowd is happy for this person. And so these people from the past most likely will not celebrate with you. And that's fine. Your path forward isn't for everybody. Not everybody can go on this journey with you, unfortunately. And here we have the King of Pentacles. So we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, and again, I don't feel like it's for everybody, and I'm sorry for that, but for some of you, there is a romantic love connection. And as I pull them, they're actually facing one another. So it's definitely, for those of you that this will apply to, definitely somebody you can see eye to eye with. But because of your level of discipline in whatever it is that you do, I mean, even just to tear down this structure and remain as this with this Buddha smirk on it, kind of aloof to it, this takes discipline. So you're utilizing your discipline and moving into wealth and abundance here. And this is really allowing you to take more control over your life as you move forward. And we'll get one more. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. So this would indicate a partnership, a mutual attraction of some kind. And this may be in part of this team is someone that you connect with. But whatever this is, and this could just be speaking of the team, I'm getting like multiple things. So there is, for some of you, there is romance on the table. And for some of you, this is speaking about this team. And that this is divinely orchestrated, whether this be romantic or this team dynamic or both. This is divinely orchestrated and designed just for you. So that's a good place to. So I think we're going to call this reading here. Cancers, I want to send you a lot of love and encouragement during December. This is this hard internal work that must be done. This is part of the spiritual journey. But outside of that, it really does look really good for you. So if any of this reading resonates with you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as it is really most appreciated. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in, listening, and watching. It really does mean so much. And again, Cancers, I'll catch you on the next go-round. Peace.